If you click this video, you're trying to get the best graphics settings for this game. Well, guess what? I got them for you. Through many trial and errors, believe me, there was a lot of them. I think we finally got them. Now, make sure to stay to the end of the video so I can give you some extra audio tips that will actually help you be able to hear footsteps a hell of a lot more than you were before. And if you guys want to continue the conversation elsewhere, we also stream on Twitch. Link is down below. Now let's get right into the video. So this game is not exactly the most graphically optimized, especially for a AAA title. I think we all know that by now. And for some reason, every single time that I load this game, or every other time, I gotta change this every single time. So make sure this is on full screen and your render resolution is at 100. Those are the only two things that usually change. And for the rest of the settings, let's get right into it. So we're gonna go full screen. Make sure you're selecting the correct monitor. Make sure your graphics card is showing here. You wanna be whatever your monitor is as far as the refresh rate. We're gonna go to advanced. Make sure that this is your display resolution. We're gonna be on automatic aspect ratio, disabled, custom. Make sure this frame rate limit is going to be the frame rate limit of whatever your monitor is. And mine should be 144. Mine was on 165 because I used to have a 165 hertz monitor and I never changed it. So there you go. See, everybody's got to change something. And according to YouTube, 96.4% of you guys are not subscribed. Smash that subscribe button if you want to see more content just like this. Keep the others on 60. NVIDIA highlights, reflex, disabled. 2.2 on the display gamma. Texture resolution, very low. Texture filter anisotropic, low. God damn it, Twitter. Follow my Twitter, CalzoneOP. Particle quality is high. Bullet impacts and sprays, disabled, as well as tessellation, disabled. On-demand texture streaming, we're going to disable that. Streaming quality on normal. Shadow map resolution on low. Cache spot shadows as well as cache sun shadows are going to be disabled. Particle lighting is going to be low. DirectX ray tracing disabled. Ambient occlusion disabled, as well as SSR, that's going to be on low. Now for the post-processing effects, anti-aliasing we're going to put on SMAA 1 times. Depth of field is going to be disabled. Filmic strength, now this is a funny one. Filmic strength is going to be 0, even though it mentions if the anti-aliasing option is not set to SMAA T2X or the filmic version, set this filmic strength to 1 to avoid visual noise issues. So I've tested this. Putting it to 1 actually lowers your frames pretty significantly. I'd say about 5 to 10% or so. But it doesn't actually show you visual noise. So you're not going to have any issues. So put that thing into 0 and you'll be all good. So make sure it's on 0. Even though it says this, just don't go with what Call of Duty says. The whole game is broken to begin with, so why would you listen to them now? World motion blur obviously disabled, weapon motion blur disabled, and film grain as well. Now guys, these are the settings for the best performance possible. This is not going to make the game look spectacular. That's not the point here. The point is to have professional settings, or at least to have the greatest advantage over your opponent. These are competitive settings at the end of the day. If you want the game to look fantastic, put everything on ultra. You'll get 40 frames, congratulations. But you could still do it, especially if you're streaming. You might be at 30 frames. So now as far as audio goes, this is going to be a huge, huge, huge game changer. Now the main audio mix that everybody was using was boost high for the longest time, but guess what? Boost low is actually the best one if you want to hear footsteps. It isolates the footstep and boosts it up. It's going to sound way different than boost high or whichever one you're on now. It may take a little bit to get used to, but it's going to be the better alternative if you're worried about footprints and be able to figure out where people are coming. Master volume, this is going to be based off of your setup, but I have mine on 64.09, but I do mess around with it in my Go XLR, so I have it more toward like maybe 30-40% on the Go XLR. Music I keep super, super low, same with dialogue as well as effects volume. Now these are all dependent on you. I put the voice chat a little bit higher. That's only to hear, you know, everybody when they get killed and they're like, ah! That was pretty bad, but you know what I mean. And just make sure voice chat effect is on no effect, because back in the day it used to be classic chatter, so just make sure it's not classic chatter and you'll be all good to go. And now we're going to move on to general real quickly, and make sure right here it says skip introduction movie. Make sure that's enabled so that you don't get the big when the thing starts. Now I do see some people playing with subtitles. Subtitles do help to figure out who's saying what sometimes, for if they're throwing grenades or whatever it may be, but me personally, I have them disabled. I think they're annoying, but to each their own. And if you want a quick little tip as well, mini map shape, make sure it's a square, because you can see more in the square than you can in the circle. Now personally, I keep frames and I keep server latency both enabled so that you can see what's going on in the game to make sure that everything's running correctly. And I highly suggest you check whatever settings that you're running right now with the FPS meter, and then check it after you put these settings in and see if there's a difference. Most likely knowing Call of Duty, there's going to be quite a difference. And don't forget to smash the like button if this video has helped you, and drop a comment. Let me know how many frames you're gaining through these settings. Once again, guys, these are not meant to be the best settings as far as visual, but they are going to be the best when it comes to frame rate. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, your boy, Calzone, is out. Peace.